Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Redskins come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Cardinals going up against the Redskins. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
This one fielded at the 5. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 6th season out of Stanford. Here's Andrew Luck.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there right off the bat. 42 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
The penalty. It's Johnson. They find some open field here. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
They gashed him in a big way on that last run, and defense fortunate to tackle him on the 2-yard line, but doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the defense's plan. And that's the one thing the coordinator has to do to make sure the confidence stays high. Okay, sometimes they're going to get a big play against us. That doesn't mean we change everything and abandon our game plan, but now they have to stick it.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Second down, 8. Now McCoy. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
It's easy to talk about Patrick Peterson because you can be definitive about his game. Tremendous against the run because he's an excellent tackler. Can run with anyone because of his speed. Has the size to play the football downfield extremely well. And then you throw in his kick return ability. You have one of the top corners in the NFL year in and year out.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, McCoy. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. Now the 4th-year man from Oklahoma, Tress Way, on to punt. As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at the 20. And he is out of bounds, getting it just shy of the 35. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
10 more there and another 1st down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
To throw on second down is Luck. And out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to face a third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. T.Y. Hilton, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Early lead in that one for the Packers. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Here's McCoy. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 28. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, this is going to be a good one. The Cowboys and the Raiders going at it in the East Bay.
Oh, that's old school right there.
Old school indeed. Then Monday night, another good late season matchup. The Falcons and the Buccaneers from Tampa to wrap up Week 15. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
From the gun, McCoy. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping. David Johnson on his way. A big run there by Johnson. 79 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
A shotgun snap for Love. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. T.Y. Hilton, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
All right, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down. McCoy caught on the right side. Reed. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
From the gun on 3rd down. McCoy. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. Give him 6 on the play there. And that leads to a Washington first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes, just a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Let's go.
The backup Rob Kelly, his first carry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll go again with Kelly. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards for number 11.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On first down, McCoy. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The game clock sitting at the 2-minute warning.
Let's go.
Back to the air on 2nd down. McCoy setting up the screen to Kelly. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. To play in this first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McCoy. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Dotson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From the gun, here's Love. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, Johnson. And he's got room. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we've seemingly lost communication with Larry. Good news, though, both teams somehow already back on the field and ready for the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to
throw across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deone Buchanan. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is
Just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Throwing again. McCoy. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Stacy McGee continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
3rd and long. It's locked. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And here come the Redskins now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. 3rd down here. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 3rd down, McCoy. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st and 10, McCoy. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. To throw again, McCoy. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Throwing on 1st down. McCoy toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there. Whether it's slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Back to throw. McCoy. And that will be incomplete as well.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and not.
And look at this, another fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Operating from the gun. McCoy eluding the pressure. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Colt McCoy. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They won more. Here comes an onside kick. Oh, I think the Redskins got it. Yes, they did. Well, I guess they felt like they needed something to get them going. Maybe you wait for this type of a play, but they try the onside kick, and it works.
I'm starting to wonder if the analytics coach is starting to get involved in the football nowadays. When you see this type of play made, this type of a risk taken, sometimes there's different influences going into the head coach's ear.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. To throw on 3rd down, McCoy. It's brought in by Dodson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, McCoy. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. McCoy completes it to Quick. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. In the red zone this time.
Let's go.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCoy. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Looking to throw. McCoy. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Reed, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They go to Johnson again. And now running right through it. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
This is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. John Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Now Dawson for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Or the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McCoy, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On 3rd down, McCoy. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Back to throw. McCoy completes it right side to Dodson. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Now let's go.
From the gun, McCoy. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Watch it now, Barney!
Throwing again. McCoy. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tyvon Branch. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught right side, Davis. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on 3rd down, McCoy. He goes underneath to Drake. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, McCoy. He dumps it off to Drake. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. To throw on 2nd down, McCoy. He's got his man. This is Doxson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Throwing on 1st down, McCoy. And that'll be incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. To throw again, McCoy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Love. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back to throw, Love. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I would have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A huge play there for Arizona. 43 yards. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Out of the gun, Luck. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You having fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They're on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. And that one all Packers right now. They've scored again. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Fresh set of downs here. Operating from the gun. McCoy throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, McCoy. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Again, it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.